How's it going, folks? Circling up from the mosh pit. We're checking out a song from Igorrr that a few of you guys suggested I check out. Tout Petit Moineau, off their album Hallelujah. I am so excited. I can see a lot of great storytelling already in this visual, and based on what we've heard with their classical mixing with metal and all sorts of other stuff, breakcore, that kind of thing, it already makes me feel like there's a lot of ways that you could tell an incredible story of like crazy spiritual, like you're clamoring for something that you think is holy, so you're just, I'm excited to see how they tell a story in this song. So let's get into it. Okay, so we get the piano and we get a few stringed instruments. Okay, now it's coming in full circle, or full volume. Oh, there's all the little warbling distortion on the strings. Piano. If it just stayed like this, I'd feel like I'm listening to just a classical song. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's so pretty. Whoa, nice high note. Wow. I like how simple the piano is being. It's definitely vocal driven for this part of the song. I assume we're going to switch it up soon, but the piano, it sounds like it's just one note. There's not even chords on the left hand to follow it. It just sounds like it's just the right hand playing the melody. And then just the strings are just kind of going dun, 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 dun. Just almost like that's playing the chords, while the very basic looped melody, or harmony I should say, is being played by the piano. Very, very interesting. What? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, I'm sure this is just going to open up now that we've switched over to this part, but how her voice like opened as the rest of the band came in sounded very like almost creepy sounding. Yeah, so the came in on the guitar, and then it sounded like there was kind of a bass sound coming in, because it wasn't just the singing going, da, 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 da. Even though that's what it sounded like, it just kind of opened up that voice, that tone, to feed into this next part of the song. That was cool. And it's I'm sorry, for some of you who don't know, I'm just giving out information here. Sorry. It's the difference between a lot of closed tones that we have, or closed tones with your voice, but maybe open vowels. You're hitting the note with this kind of breathy tone, and it sounds constricted. But you have the open voice. That's how a lot of pronunciation happens in a lot of classical singing. Not just classical music, but just classically trained singing. A lot of it has this very open sound. Throw Latin in there and you don't know what they're saying. Not only is it open tone, but also different language. But then adding the like, just, it's kind of opening that voice there was really, really cool. Anyway. The drums is just doing its own thing. So now it's like you can hear it's like like the drums is doing whatever it wants, but it's still in that timing. And the strings are still following, just doing a bit. Well, now the strings are doing the harmonizing. It's like it's kind of playing along with the singing. The piano's not there anymore, and then now the drums is, you know, it started off with, but now it's doing, it went off beat pretty quick, and it's like, it's really, really cool. It's just kind of doing its own thing now, but it's staying in timing, which is neat. And now I'm hearing the piano. Maybe it was still around, but it sounds like now it's just playing chords. So the two roles reversed between the strings and the piano. Whoa. Wow. Ooh, there was a really cool with the strings. I wasn't sure if it was just the strings going or if it was the chopping up that they do with a lot of the other instrumentals with the breakcore stuff. That's cool. That's very, very cool. So there was that chopping for the vocals. Whoa. Whoa. I'm sorry, I had to stop for a second because I was just getting lost in the sauce. The style is so crazy, and it went from kind of having a little bit of a dissonant orchestral tone to now sounding like a feverish hymn, like just this like possessed hymn. It's just. It's like you're almost it makes me think of a lot of horror films where, you know, you're praying to some demon or something and it just kind of turns into a frenzy. You're not really about the very relaxed chanting and the, you know, the repeating, the looping of what you're saying in sort of a meditative way, in sort of a prayerful way. Now it's like it makes me think of the visual here where everyone's like clamoring over each other, just trying to get to this deity, and it's sounding more feverish and everyone's just going for it. Like, dude, that's insane. That's so cool. That's like creepy, but really, really cool. I want to hear it again. now we have some guitar in it. Wow. Whoa. So you hear the with the violins and everything, and it's keeping some harmony going, or keeping some rhythm going with the singing, but the drums, it's kind of going all over the place, and it's almost like infecting the vocals. So she's singing, she's doing her thing, but then the drums are going, and her voice is, so that's crazy. That's just so crazy. It really makes me feel like, yeah, this might have been, you know, if I were to paint a picture about what's going on, you know, in what type of story we're trying to look at, it's like the hymn started off so reverently and so peacefully, and we're just kind of chanting this thing, but then it turned feverish, and then the drums is just falling into its own chaos, and then it's coming back and affecting everything else. Oh, and then there was a harpsichord in there. Yeah, so it might have just sounded like a guitar at the time, but I think because of the dissonance of the breakcore, it sounds more like a harpsichord, which was one of those really tiny pianos that they had, and it had that buzzy sound. Like if you ever watched a Victorian movie where they're like dancing or something, it's like ding 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 ding. Like that's what it is. It's a really small piano. Okay, now the drums is kind of fallen back in line. Ooh, now the strings is taking over now. Yo! Whoa. Whoa, what an end. So even the strings, which for the most part had been kind of, you know, staying harmonic, not dissonant, did a little side scratch effect on it to just kind of end off that like everything's kind of falling apart. That actually gave me chills. Like this could be in like a possession type horror movie, and I would think it would have been one of the best horror scores ever. That is so cool. Now, I might be looking into this, you know, in my own way. I am very much interested in hearing about what Igorr's point was with this album. You know, like, what is their point with these songs? Do they have a story in line? You can tell me in the comments if you know how they go about that process. But just listening to this as is, seeing these visuals, it looks like just, you know, hurting people desperate for something or just clamoring for something that is holy or presumably holy. It looks ugly, it looks distorted, but it's what's there, and it's just turning into this feverish, like, nightmare of a belief. But man, that was a journey. I'm definitely gonna be checking out more of their stuff. I just have to get the plan going for when and how to do it. So thank you guys so much for your support on my previous album reaction. I had never listened to these guys on this channel before, and you guys coming in to support it, even though it was claimed and everything, means so much to me. I appreciate the Igorrr fan base on that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you did, check out the link in the description, support the people that made this, and that's all I gotta say about that.